That one was gross.
I like it now.
I'm
You
ready.
ready?
Yeah.
Really?
What is this?
What?
Have I eaten this before? What?
Hey everyone, I'm Derrick Fox and you're watching A Bunch of Losers. Roice is my guest today from the very first season of Next Level Chef. We talk about what it's like to be a social media chef with a massive following, cooking for Gordon Ramsay and what it's like to not win a cooking competition, his love for MasterChef, and of course, we challenge his palate with the blind taste test. Let's go, loser. Okay, so,
Yeah.
Roice, welcome.
Thank you.
From the first season of Next Level Chef, you went out kind of early.
I did, yes.
But it doesn't matter. You're crushing it on the internet.
Thank you.
Did you have this massive following before going on Next Level Chef?
So I had probably about, I'd say, 400,000 followers on TikTok prior to Next Level Chef.
Wow. What did you have on Instagram?
0.
No way. What? God damn it.
Yeah, I think 0. Maybe like something around like 1,000 max.
Shit.
And
You've grown it. What's the
I have
secret
grown it.
sauce?
the
Just
secret sauce is actually people just arguing in the comments. That seems to be it. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I put a suggestion out there. I'm like, hey, like try cooking bacon this way. Everyone just goes wild and they're like, you shouldn't do it this way, or like, yeah, this is totally the way I do it, and everyone goes crazy, you know. So
Dude,
it's kind of funny.
you know what? That's actually kind of true. I did this one Instagram video a long ass time ago. I got flown down to Guadalajara, Mexico to cook for the consulate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the kitchen with the other chef and I was doing some prep and I was flambeing some cherries and I poured the whiskey straight from the bottle. But I'm like, I'm not going to let the flame crawl back up into the bottle, right? But I posted that video and people went nuts, getting so pissed that I poured it from the bottle. Yeah. You shouldn't do that. You should pour it from a shot glass, whatever. And then, like, no joke, that video got like 100,000 views on, but that was on Facebook, so and whatever. But yeah, so okay,
That's how it goes.
You just gotta make things wrong and be like, what do you guys think about this?
That's it. That's really exactly what it is. You know, all the videos that seem to have gone viral are the ones that everyone kind of argues about in the comment section.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you never get worried, like when you're making something, you're like, this might not be technically right, but you still put it up.
Yeah, my whole like philosophy behind it, I used to be a science teacher, right?
No shit.
Yeah. So I used to be a science teacher, and so everything that I do is kind of almost like an experiment, right?
Yeah.
So if I see a technique, if I see someone else do it, let's say on YouTube, I'm like, all right, let's try this out. Let's see how it works.
Okay.
I'm not really in the mindset of like, yeah, this has to be done this way. I'm like, let's experiment with it.
Yeah.
Let's see how it works. And if it's something I like, then I share it with my audience.
Yeah.
And some people have that mindset. Hey, let's learn. Let's try something new. And I really like that. And yeah.
I approach food that way.
Similar way, yeah.
Just like, as long as the final product is delicious, looks good. Sometimes it doesn't have to look good, but looks good, tastes good. Then it doesn't matter how you got there, unless like you're using prepackaged stuff. But that's we're not doing that. If it's made from scratch and you get there and you break some rules to get there, it's like what's wrong with that? Because I know that, man, there's some chefs that get like so upset about things, but like I'll make like a fluid gel using Ultratex, for instance, instead of like making putting gelatin in a a puree or a juice, whatever, like blackberries, blend them up, and then I cook the blackberries and sugar, and then blend it, and then I'll strain it, and then I'll put it back in the blender and just blend it with Ultratex till I get the right consistency that I want, and I don't have to like wait for anything to set, and it doesn't taste any different. You can't taste the Ultratex. So, but like some people, that's not a fluid gel. Well, it's acting like one.
Looks like one.
Looks like one. It's nice.
Yeah.
I got there, right? I don't know. Okay, so tell me about before Next Level Chef. What made you decide to go on this?
All right, so I'm gonna go all the way back.
I felt like we were about to get a big answer.
Yeah, you're gonna get a big answer.
Let's go.
So it started when I started watching MasterChef. I believe season 3. I think it was Christine and Josh in the finale.
His acting's great.
Yeah. It was them two in the finale, and I was just like, this is awesome, you know. And that was kind of right when I started getting into cooking, like really getting into it.
Okay.
And I don't think I watched seasons 4 or 5. I think the next one that I watched was your season. I think it was you and Claudia in the finale, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the first season that I actually watched with my family. So my mom, my dad, my brother, we just watched it all the way through.
Okay.
And after I saw that, I was like,
did you have a favorite?
You want to tell them who it is?
Me?
Yeah. My mom and dad were just like huge fans of yours too.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when they saw the finale, they were just like, "This, yeah."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you weren't following me on Instagram.
I didn't even know you had an Instagram.
Dude, it's wild. Yeah. MasterChef's a weird one for me because, like, I mean, I put whatever on Instagram. Yeah. I've started kind of figuring out like creating a vibe, but like there's so many people that are fans of MasterChef and fans of me that don't follow any of my social media. And like I run into them, you know, I'll be in the grocery store is like kind of a difficult thing after being on a cooking show. I'm sure you know. But like, I mean, I've had so many instances in the grocery store where it's like, oh my God, you're Derrick from MasterChef. Yeah. And like, I'm like, yeah, you know, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, you don't follow any of my, you don't follow my Instagram? Oh my God, I didn't know you have Instagram. Yeah. Everybody's got an Instagram. Like, what? It's so weird. Okay, anyway, keep going.
So that's how it kind of started my interest in that. And
did you apply for a MasterChef? I
did not. No, I always thought like, oh, I'm never gonna be good enough.
That's crazy.
That was the mindset, you know. I just thought like, yeah, there's no chance of me making it. But as the years went on, I was like, you know what? Like, if I really start practicing, I could do this. And then what happened is the pandemic hits. Obviously, I'm a teacher at the time, and we go on to distance learning. So I'm teaching from home in our 1-bedroom apartment.
Science.
From a computer screen. So we can't do any labs or anything.
How did you keep the kids engaged?
I don't even know if they were engaged. I'm willing to bet most of them were just taking a nap while I was teaching because their screens were off, you know. There's a few that would type in the chat.
What grade level?
At that time, I believe it was 8th grade.
Dang, yeah, they were not paying attention.
Probably, you know, yeah, they probably were.
They probably had your screen down and like you porn on or something.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. They're probably sleeping. You know, a few times I've actually caught them sleeping.
That's funny.
Yeah, they'd like accidentally turn their camera on or something and just lay down. I'm like, your camera's on. They're like, oh, and then just get up. But you know, that's how it is. And during that time, I was only teaching for 3-4 hours a day, so I had the rest of the day just free.
Yeah,
couldn't really go anywhere because everything was closed down, and so I was just like, why not just start making cooking videos? So I started making some cooking videos, posted them on TikTok. After, I don't know, maybe 10 videos or so, I'm like, this isn't going anywhere. You know, I wasn't getting that many views. So I just quit. And then maybe about a month later, I logged back in and I'm like, I have like 20,000 followers. I'm like, what the heck? And one of my videos went viral. And I was
like, which video?
It was a passion fruit mousse.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a dessert that my mom used to make. We're from Brazil. So
yeah,
that one went viral. And then I made another video. It was like how a white boy makes birria.
Oh my gosh.
And so that one went viral too. And after that, I was like, okay, there's some potential here. Let's keep going with this. So I started going with it. Summer of 2021, I believe I got a call or I got a message on Instagram saying, hey, do you want to apply for Next Level Chef? And I'm like, yeah, very funny. Like, this is some kind of joke because I didn't even know that was a show at the time.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a scam and they just wanted my information. And I got another message, hey, I'm just checking to see if you're interested. And I looked it up and I'm like, oh, this seems like a real thing. So I started applying for it and didn't get a call back for like 2 months.
Right.
And out of nowhere, they're like, hey, in 3 days, we're going to need you in Vegas. I'm like, 3 days?
What?
Yeah. I think it was 3 days, right? Yeah. And so I call my principal. I'm like, hey, I have this amazing opportunity. I really want to take it. Would you be okay with that? And she's like, yeah, go for it.
Wow.
So 3 days later, I drove out. I didn't even fly out. And that's how it all started.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how it all started.
Dude, it's 3 days notice.
I think it was 3 days notice. And they're like, we need you out here.
That's interesting. I wonder why there was, because it's not like that. Like they give you way more time to prepare. I wonder if it was just because of the pandemic or if like they have a list of people, and it's like you wonder if like with that last minute, that's kind of crazy. If someone like dropped out or something, and then
they were giving hints actually. They were saying like, hey, look, you're like a finalist, and but they didn't tell me what a finalist meant, so I just assumed there's nothing going on here.
Yeah.
And they kept for about 2 to 3 weeks prior, they were messaging me saying this is what it's going to be like if you make it on. But the point where they actually said like, hey, you're on the show wasn't until like 3 days before, 4 days before, and
they filmed in Vegas. Where'd you guys stay in Vegas?
I think it used to be the Hard Rock, but now it's the Virgin Hotel, I think.
Oh yeah, dope.
But it was we didn't get to go. We didn't get to leave the rooms or anything.
Oh no, not at all.
Complete lockdown.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's a big production. You don't want to risk anyone getting sick. And
exactly.
Especially Gordon.
Oh right. Yeah. There's. Did you have to take an MMPI-2 test?
What is that?
Nope.
Was that the psychology?
It was the long one.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's like 500 questions.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah, it was gnarly, right? Dude, that one messed with my head.
Did you get grilled by the psychiatrist? Like,
yeah.
He's like, what makes you angry? I'm like, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I don't really get it. He's like, something makes you angry. And he just stood there and waited for me to tell him something. I was like,
yeah,
I don't really get angry.
This round right now to get on the Back to Win season, it wasn't as aggressive, but like season 6 was so intense. I mean, we had when I auditioned in like August of 2014, and then it wasn't till December, and there was like all these things going on. Like every 2 weeks there was a new email with all kinds of homework and stuff to do and dishes to send in and blah blah blah. And then like December we get this email and they're like, you need to go. They're like, plan to be there all day, bring food. I was like, what? Like, you need to go to this hotel. You're taking the MMPI-2 test. And I'm like, okay. And then you're meeting with 2 private investigators and a doctor. And it was like, while taking the test, we'd get interrupted. Security would come over and stand by our test and no one else would mess with it. And we'd go up to a room and then like we'd meet one psych lady. So we walk in, or one private investigator. We walk in. She's all bubbly, happy, asking questions. The room's all one way. Go back down to our test. Go back up to meet with the other one. You walk in and the whole room, it's the same floor, same room, but they flipped everything around.
Yeah.
Like on purpose. And then you go in and he's like strict. He's just like not a smile, super kind of like just harsh, right? And he just grilling you. And you're like questioning everything in your life. You're like, wait, was that a dream? Was that did that really happen? And then, and then we go back downstairs and then like go back upstairs. You got to take a blood test. So we go back up and they've turned this whole room into like a doctor's office. And they pulled a piece of hair. They swabbed my mouth. They drew blood from my arm. And then I had to pee in a cup. They did all this, right? And then a week later, I get like my phone starts blowing up. They're like, Derrick, we got your test back, but on the HIV, something isn't right. We need you to go take it. I was like, what?
Were you freaking out?
I'm freaking out. I'm like, this is not real. And apparently they just missed it. They didn't test it, and like my blood sample wasn't there anymore. So then I had to go to this clinic in Santa Monica, and it's filled with like hepatitis patients and people that are doing like HIV treatments. And I'm just like sitting in there like freaking out because they didn't tell me yet. And then I go and I get my blood drawn and they send it in and I'm good. And I'm like, that was the worst week of my life.
That would have stressed me out. That is so intense.
Oh my God, it was so scary. Yeah. Anyway, then they called and they were like, congratulations, you made it to the final round of auditions. You're in the top 100, but this doesn't mean you're on camera yet. But pack your bags for 5 days or 3 months. I was like, holy shit. And I was like, I just brought my whole closet. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, my experience was not that intense. I mean, everything was done. I mean,
because COVID changed everything, right?
Everything was behind a screen, and there wasn't really any testing besides COVID testing.
Yeah.
But again, they actually brought, I think, 18 people there, even though there's only 15. Yeah. Just in case some people tested positive. And
right. So, yeah, they got alternates.
Yeah, like the week prior to going, or Yeah, let's say about a week prior to going, I was just really cautious, like
Yeah.
really snug mask. I'm like, I'm not testing positive because if I get on the show, I better be on screen, you know?
Yeah.
So I was super cautious and yeah.
So since you weren't like really pursuing it until later, like how did you feel? You're like, you make it on, you're like, oh my God, I got to cook for Gordon Ramsay now?
Yeah, it was, I was not prepared,
No?
but
In what way were you not prepared?
I wasn't prepared for like the format of it. I was expecting something more like MasterChef. I didn't know like that there would be different levels, and I didn't really look too much into it.
Right, because you had nothing to watch.
Yeah, I've never seen. This was the
nothing.
first season.
Yeah.
And so when we got there, they're like, you're gonna have either 45 seconds or 30 seconds to grab your ingredients.
That's
I don't
stupid.
think they decided yet at the time, and then it ended up being like 30 seconds. And you know me, I'm pretty easygoing. I'm not the type of guy. I'm not like
You're not
on
gonna
your
push
pace.
someone out of the way.
I'm not gonna push someone out of the way. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a middle school teacher, unless it's a little kid, you know.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not the type to push someone out of the way to grab an ingredient, and also I'm
Sure.
not the type to be like, this is what I'm gonna make. This is what I need. Boom, boom, boom.
But you also don't have to. You can just reach over them.
Yeah, that's true. Tower over, but you know, I think that's where the experience showed a little bit. The lack of experience was that I saw guys like Ruel. Have you seen the show?
Yeah, I watched
So
it.
guys like Ruel, he knew exactly what he needed, right? So
Right.
boom, 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 he grabbed it. He was ready to go,
Right.
and that shows you that level of experience that he has.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, oh, cool, like cauliflower, I could do something with this, and oh, cool, some corn, I could do something. And by the time I had an idea of what I was going to do, the platform was already gone, and I was like, I got 3 ingredients. What am I going to do?
What your first round? What did you make?
First round, I forgot a protein, so I had to improvise. I made a cauliflower steak.
Yeah. And they really liked that, right?
They ended up liking that.
Yeah.
So I guess I got lucky there.
Yeah. Whose team were you on again?
Ended up getting me on Ramsay's team.
Okay, cool.
So that was for me the most exciting part of the whole thing. I was like, yes. And so that was pretty exciting. That was probably one of my favorite dishes that I made. It had a cauliflower puree, pickled cauliflower, and it was a little difficult to make because there isn't really much on the bottom floor.
Right.
And
Dude,
yeah.
When you go, I thought that was actually the most clever part, was going and grabbing the hotel key, like the the elevator key,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking the ride. What was that really like? Because obviously, when you like when let's say one team, the first team goes and gets in the elevator, do you know where they end up?
Nope.
Right. So even the third team that pulls, they don't know where they're gonna.
No.
They don't know.
You can hear their voices slightly, like yes or no, but
well, then you know.
you kind of have an idea. But sometimes like no was like them being in the middle, or yes was them being in the middle if they were on the bottom floor of the previous episode.
Right.
But even then, like we didn't really have much of a clue. Every time we stepped on that elevator, like we're like, oh, where are we gonna go? And they'd mess with us, right? So on one episode, they took us all the way to the top. We're like, yeah. So we were excited, and like the doors just stayed shut, and so we're just waiting. We're like, oh, it must be some kind of error, and then they just took us all the way to the bottom, and I'm like, you guys are playing games with us, and they knew what they were doing. It was great. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, your keys actually probably didn't do anything, huh?
No, they just opened the door.
Yeah, if
But,
even that. But
Yeah,
that's funny.
it was definitely exciting. Yeah,
They do those things to kind of mess with you. I remember we did this one team challenge in season 6, and we had one of the things we had to cook was fish and chips.
Mm-hmm.
It was fish and chips and burgers, and then the next day, Crafty for the green room was fish and chips and burgers.
Yeah,
And we were like, what the fuck? We just made like however many hundreds of portions of this yesterday. Like, we do not want to eat this. And we broke for lunch, and we're finding this out. We're eating. We're like, none of us. We're all like, we're like, this is fucking. And then we come back onto the stage, and Gordon Ramsay was like, "How was lunch?" And you're like, "You fucker, you did that."
they knew exactly.
He's a
what
prankster.
Yeah.
He's funny. But yeah, I could totally see that being his idea.
Did they while you were on set, did they do this thing called like You're on Ice?
Yeah, hard ice.
Oh man. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought that was just us. It was brutal.
That's a reality competition thing, like across the like industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're not mic'd up, they don't want you talking and changing storylines,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a situation like for you guys. You guys have teams, so you're building strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're not mic'd up and on camera, they don't want you talking about it.
For us, even when we were mic'd up, they were like, if we'd like say anything, they're like, hey, they just called, you guys are on ice.
Yeah.
I was like, and you know, I'm a very like, I like to talk. Hey, how's it going? And they were not having it.
No. Shit.
Yeah.
What was the dish that you went out on?
The dish that I went out on, the dish that put me in the elimination was I made a pesto pasta without pine nuts. So every episode that I did, I forgot something, right? Like I forgot an ingredient or two. And Gordon,
it's hard. I mean, they have that whole, what do they call it?
The platforms?
The platforms.
Yeah.
Those platforms are like so strategically stacked, and then they have all the like the foliage in between, and you're like, it's really yeah. Well, because like on our audition for our aprons coming back to win, they put all the ingredients behind us, but then they had to put some extra ingredients to fill in like the set, and you're like, wait, was that in my dish? Fuck no. And then you're like trying to dig past it and find the right thing that you're looking. So for you guys, I mean, like you're like looking and you're like you're just trying to absorb it for a minute. Like what am I gonna cook? 30 seconds?
It was tough, yeah. Like because by the time the little like light went off, by the time we got there, it was like 25 seconds left, and I'm surprised you actually noticed how the ingredients were laid out, because I don't think anyone that watched the show noticed. But like if I grab basil, I was like, man, there's only like a few leaves here. Like what the heck? But there's little bits of basil all over the platform, and if you picked up basil, all of a sudden there's garlic underneath it, and the things were hidden. I was like, man, this is tough, you know?
Right.
So when I decided to make a pesto, like a basil pesto, I got like a little bit of basil. I'm like, man, this is all that's left? Are you kidding me? And then I ended up just focusing so much on the basil that I forgot the pine nuts.
Yeah.
And then we went on to the elimination, and it was any noodle dish from like Asian cuisine, any noodle dish that we wanted to make.
And who you were going up against?
I went up against Zach, and I made a pad see ew.
Yeah.
The noodles were just a touch overcooked.
And that's an easy one to do that with. Yeah.
I mean, it was fresh noodles, and I just kept it in the pan for like a minute too long or so.
Which also, it's like, that's kind of relative, because how long till they judge, you know? It's like, if you undercook it on purpose, then you risk the instance that maybe it doesn't sit long enough and come to temperature. If you cook it just right, they could still say it's overcooked because of how long it sat if they want to. You know, it's like it's a tough.
It is.
That's tough.
There was an episode, actually, a lot of people don't know this, but there's an episode that we had like a flash flood and thunderstorm, and it flooded the set.
What?
So I think it was episode 2, and we had to evacuate the set, and our food sat there for maybe like 2-3 hours, and the judges still ate it. I mean, they were still eating everything on those plates, and I was like, how they didn't get sick, I don't know, but
nah, I mean, they're not gonna get sick. It's cooked. Like,
that's true. Yeah.
How many of us have left the pizza on the stove overnight and just got up and I'll eat it? Yeah,
that's true.
That's
cool, bro.
Man, no, I watched that intensely because I wanted to go on it. And when did the season air? When was the first episode?
First episode was, I think, like first or second week of January
of
this year.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it was after
we filmed. We filmed in September, I believe, like right around the same time you guys filmed. So probably like a week or two before you guys.
Yeah, you had been done right before, and then Gordon just came right on over. Yeah. Dude, that dude's a beast, man. How does he do it all?
Was he as good as he was for us on your show, like where he just does one take for everything? And
everything. One take.
He doesn't mess up. He doesn't do any none of that. Like he's just perfection from the minute it starts.
Yeah. I mean, I know that like when we're off stage, I think they redo some of their powwows sometimes just to get so that they get them clear, because we're not there cooking. They can keep the audio separate. But other than that, yeah, dude, he doesn't. And like literally after the finale, he's like the finale happens. He's reading the teleprompter, like giving whatever message, and then literally turns away. He like shakes my hand and then out the back door off to something else. Like, you know, he's got something else. He's not done.
Yeah.
Man. And he's got 5 kids. I don't even know, man.
every time while we were there too, he'd like, we'd show up, we'd film, and like the instant the cameras were off, like we didn't see him anymore.
Yeah.
And then we get back to the hotel, they give us our phones back, we check, and like he's like hiking up some mountain in Vegas. And we're like, how do you have the energy to do this? Like, I'd get back to the hotel and I couldn't move. I was so exhausted.
I mean, that is though how he has the energy. Like on the days where I'm most tired in the morning, like, and I'm just like, if I force myself to go to the gym, then I have like the best day. Like I'll have the most energy all day. My cooking is better. Like my thought process is better. The days that I skip it and I go through like so lethargic. I mean, so that's kind of like the recipe is like when you at your like least favorite moments, you got to like push yourself to do something physical because then you get that energy. Yeah. So I'm blown away that like you had all this TikTok following just organically. And then, so I know what I can do with like 30,000 Instagram followers as far as like getting free shit and sponsorships and like a little bit of money here and there. What is it like with that kind of following?
So on TikTok's a lot easier to grow than it is on Instagram.
I've heard
much easier than
it's a little more organic, right?
Yeah. And so luckily I got in early. Like I think I started doing it like at the end of 2020. So it's easy to grow at that time.
Yeah.
I'd say like right now I think I have 600 something thousand on TikTok, but I'd say if you compare that to Instagram, it'd be like the equivalent of having like 200 on Instagram, something around there.
Really?
Yeah, because I just assume it's easier to grow.
Okay.
But most of the brand deals right now are on TikTok. A lot of the brands are moving towards TikTok because most videos get a lot of views there.
Yeah.
And
so with that kind of following, like, are you like, I'll do a video for you, but 10 grand, or like, are you making?
I wish I could make 10 grand a video. No.
Why? You got 600,000 followers.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I'd be like, it's $1 per impression.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is gonna get 10,000 views.
No, the way it kind of works on TikTok is when they approach you with a brand deal. Yeah. They're like, this is how much we're offering to pay you. So like, let's say they're offering like 1,500 for a video. Okay. And then you try and bargain them up, right?
Got it.
Is this oftentimes they won't budge because if you're not willing to take 1,500, there's 100 other creators that have the same amount of following as you that are going to take that deal. Yeah.
That's the part that I get in my head about because I'm like, we don't need another food video on the internet. Like,
and there's a lot of them,
dude. Everything is out there. Yeah. If like, that's why I'm like, I've put up a couple like original things that like I made up in my head that are like I break rules. It's whatever, but I'm just like everything that I could cook or come up with. Like if I go Google it, it's already there. Like, I feel like when Tastemade was in their early days. Do you remember watching those videos?
I believe so. I'm actually like a part of Tastemade.
Are you?
Yeah, I haven't made any videos for them yet. Okay. But it's just something recent that happened. But yeah, I've seen their videos. Yeah.
I mean, their offices are in Santa Monica. They have a studio there. I got to do a partnership with them and Blue Moon, and that was really cool. The lady that worked there is like big supporter of me, and then now she's not there anymore, and I lost the connect. But again, like I met with the guy that like owns Tastemade, and I was like, this is like all these food videos. It's like, this is so much food. This is so expensive. He's like, you're telling me. And I'm like, because like, you know, to go make one food video, people don't understand. Like you got to go buy all the ingredients so you can show the whole, like, even if you're only using one carrot in your, it's like, yeah, you got to have the whole, like a whole bunch of carrots so it looks good. It's like everyone that's in the food social media business, like, is spending so much money on food. And like, how much are we wasting, right? Like, I at least, if I'm going to make it, like, I'll go, if I'm not hungry, I'll go knock on the neighbor's door, be like, hey, I just made this. Someone needs to eat it. And they're like, what? Like, seriously? This is like, you're giving this to me right now? And I'm like, I can't eat it. I'm full.
And you see, that's a real big challenge for me because, you know, it's something my wife always talks to me like, hey, like, this is a lot of food that we're buying that we're not necessarily using. And, you know, I'm not a professional chef. right? I'm a pro cook, but I'm not a pro chef.
Okay.
And so I don't necessarily know how to save or reuse all the ingredients that I have. For example,
Right.
like if I have an onion, I use half of it for a recipe.
What are you doing with the
The
other
next,
half?
yeah, what do you do with the other half? My next 5
Yeah.
recipes that I'm filming don't use onion at all, you know?
Or even in this sense, okay,
Yeah.
say you do know what to do with it. You're like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna save all these vegetable scraps and make vegetable stock. I'm gonna save the rest of this onion and pickle it. I'm
Mhm.
gonna save like this, like I browned this butter. I'm gonna save it for cookies later. If you start saving all of those things to
Mhm.
like repurpose and build your videos around, you'll need a fucking walk-in.
You
Like,
need a huge,
yeah.
yeah, you know, you understand.
So you don't
Yeah.
like, we don't have that kind of
Mhm.
space. We don't have that kind of luxury.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, it's wild that like
Yeah.
the internet wants this. Like I think, right? It's like
Mhm.
these videos are getting the views.
Mhm.
Is anyone making these recipes? Like, I've maybe, out of countless hours of cooking videos
Yeah.
I've watched on Instagram and TikTok, I've maybe made 3 things,
Mhm.
and 2 are not good. Like,
Yeah.
the recipes sucked.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I
Yeah.
follow this one plant-based Instagram, because my client is she's vegetarian, but there's a lot of things,
Mhm.
a lot of allergies. So, you know, I follow things for inspiration, whatever. And I made this cake that was on there one day, and it was just like, it came out like a brick. And I'm like, dude, I followed this thing to the T. Like, I can follow a
Yeah.
recipe.
Yeah.
And like, but sometimes with like the plant-based things like that, like I'm doing it and I'm questioning it, but I'm like, well, they put it up.
Mhm.
Like, I'm going to follow it because they put it up, and then it's terrible.
Mhm.
Like, it's like they made the video and then they were like, shit, I should have wrote a recipe for that. And they write the recipe and it's not exactly
Yeah.
what they did.
Yeah.
And then you get a final product but anyway,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so the internet says by the
Mhm.
views that they want this, but when does it die out?
Yeah.
Do you worry about that?
I do now. I mean, I hadn't thought about that until you mentioned it. You know, a lot of the stuff I do is also like things that I've done in the past, and things that I've done in the past I've learned from other creators on YouTube. And I think I don't know how it's gonna work out in the long run, right? But I have a feeling that it's one of those things that once the video gets like 6, 7, 8 years old, then it kind of starts to die out, and they just want like a newer version of that video, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like looking at
Yeah.
your page, I've literally sat on the fence about experimenting with this.
Mhm.
Yours, and then Nick Giovanni.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
MasterChef also.
dude, I
Yeah.
mean, if anyone became successful
Mhm.
out of it, he's crushing
Yeah.
it. And he really figured it out. I don't know how big his team is or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but he did an outstanding job. But I feel like if I just went and scrolled down to the bottom of yours and the bottom of his and started doing those exact videos in my kitchen,
Mhm.
I would love to see what happened. If I just if I looked at the timeline between like each one of your posts and each one of his posts, and I did the same timeline, did the same hashtags, did the same, just see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, then it's like, is
Yeah.
it the algorithm? Is it the content? Is it like, what is the puzzle?
Mhm.
Because also sometimes I feel like I'm like, there's the term shadow ban. Have you ever heard
Yeah,
that?
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Dude, and I'm telling you, like, I thought it for a little bit, but then for a bunch of losers, I made an Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
like 60 followers.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a video and it got 10,000 views.
Mhm.
And then I'm up to like 80 followers, and I post another video and it ends up with like 6 or 9,000 views. I'm like, holy shit. I go to my Instagram with 30,000
Mhm.
people. I'll post the same video
Mm-hmm.
or something very similar, and it'll get 2,000, 3,000 views. I'm like, this isn't right. Like, what is going on here?
Are you posting the same exact video?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I could, but like any video, like at 30,000 followers, I should be getting, I don't know. I should be getting more than what I'm getting when my bunch of losers has way less followers and I get way more views.
Mhm.
Obviously it is different content. I get that. But even on my cookie Instagram, like, I'll post a reel. I only have like 1,100 followers on the cookie,
Mhm.
and I'll get 3, 4, 5,000 views on a video.
That's really good for 11,000 followers.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, I feel like my Instagram for some reason is like shadow banned, because I also I have a blue check mark on Facebook. Can't get one on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Owned by the same company. I got a ton of. I mean, you have a ton of press. You know, when you Google your name, there's a lot of articles.
Mm-hmm.
But same, I have a ton of articles, and they're like, it's like I had a PR guy tell me, well, it's based off press. I'm like, well, how much press do I need to send them? Because
yeah,
I've got pages.
Of MasterChef,
yeah.
you know.
And I feel like I've applied so many times. Also, like I'm like, something's got to give.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm at the point I don't even want it. I'm like, go look at who I've cooked for. I don't need your blue check mark. Fuck off. But like, that's where I'm at with it. Yeah. But I don't know. But I feel like experimenting and just, you know, because Nick's also clever. His little thumbnails are really cool.
He's doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing too. He's got a solid team behind him. I'm sure his management team is top notch, and he makes very entertaining videos. You know.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes I'm like, you know, at what point does he run out? You know, like there's something he did the other day. I was like, that's it? That's the video? Yeah. I'm like, fuck, man. Okay. Maybe I'm overthinking everything. Mm-hmm. Like, I think he was like, man, I don't know. Maybe it was just candied bacon or something. I don't know. Which is good. I mean, but yeah, he's crushing it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I think
he's also damn good looking.
That helps, yeah. Him and who's the other one that you like? My wife loves this. The Golden Balance. I don't know if you've seen him. It's one of his friends that a really, really good looking guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that definitely helps, you know. I enjoy watching the videos, you know. My wife definitely enjoys watching the videos.
Stare into Nick's eyes and I'm like, man, you have such a baby face. How did you get that? what? Oh, you're cooking? Didn't notice.
It's a puzzle. You're completely correct. You know, it doesn't make sense. Every video that I make that I'm like, yeah, this is going to go viral, doesn't. The ones where I'm like, yeah, this isn't my greatest video, they always go viral. It does not make any sense. It's so confusing.
I had a video one time where I flipped a pancake. I took the spatula and I followed the spatula with the camera and I walked through the kitchen to the flat top and I flipped the pan. Oh no, it was a mushroom. I flipped the mushroom. I fucking flipped a mushroom and it had 50,000 views.
Yeah, you never know what
I'm like, this is dumb. This is dumb.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's so confusing. And
I also think sometimes too, like, why do we need all this content? Like, up until like, I don't know when it all started, but like I can say firmly before 2002, like I was in high school and it would take all day to download a song. Like I would download a song before going to school and I would turn my computer screen off so my dad wouldn't know that my computer was on. Because if it was on, he was like, that's wasting electricity, and he'd turn it off. And, you know, I'd turn the screen off and pray that he didn't go in my room to have that song there when I got home. But it was like, we went entire days without looking at a screen. And now it's like, this content is truly just to keep us sucked into the screen.
It's almost like it,
I mean, we're making it right now, but at the same time, like, I feel like this is a little more important. We're finding out about you.
It's a little educational as well.
Yeah, right? And it's also a little bit of therapy. Like when you go on a reality TV show, like, and you don't win, it hurts. Like,
does it? Especially if you're the second one out.
You're telling me, making it all the way to the finale and that confetti falls for someone else, like that's a mind fuck. Yeah. Especially because, like, I don't know, I felt like I did better. You know, the whole season I felt like I did better. I felt like I cooked crazier things. I felt like I didn't, like you said, it's a puzzle. Yeah. I'm not good with puzzle. When I see a puzzle, I turn it into something else. I'm like, I'm gonna make a house. You know, like this isn't a puzzle. I'll look at it and be like, let's throw it against the wall and see how it looks now. You know, it's like I don't go this conventional way. So when I made it that far, I was like, I did things that had never been done in the MasterChef kitchen. I'm like, this deserves...
Like using a whipping siphon to make a cake. That was the finale, right?
Yeah.
Season 6?
Yeah. And you know what's funny that you bring that up is because, you know, Gordon was like, he kind of gave me shit about it and because it took so long because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Oh. So when I came up with the recipe, I had an ISI that was like 1 liter.
The smaller one or the bigger one?
I had the smaller one. Yeah. And then they gave me on set the 1.75. And I didn't know how to account for that. And so I just charged it more and I like froze the dough in there basically.
It gets all cold, yeah.
So it wasn't coming, it was in there, but then I had to just open the thing and spoon it out. So they didn't really show that. it was charged, but it still worked. But it was like I had to like, solve a problem on set when really if I'd have just baked a cake and tore it apart, it'd have been much easier. But I liked that, But then so coming back for season 12 in my audition to get my apron, which I'm really pissed they didn't show because all of season 6, anything that I didn't do well on or ended up in a black apron challenge or whatever, I made sure to learn and then use what I learned in a future challenge. So that was kind of like my thing. And I would always tell, that was like my way of showing Gordon is like, hey, I'm listening. You gave me advice. I'm going to use it in the next challenge or use it as soon as I can. So I looked at like the dessert that was maybe where I failed in that challenge because I had a little trouble with the ISI. So I used it to make my sauce in the back to win audition. So I brought it back around, but they didn't show it. That sauce that I made for my audition dish, I made like a lobster bisque, and I did my whole thing to make the lobster bisque. I strained it into the ISI, and then I charged it, and it makes it really fluffy. It makes the sauce like.
Is it like a foam or is it still like liquidy?
It's like in between because the fat content that's in there doesn't let the whipped cream. Doesn't let the cream puff up fully because there's so much in there, but it puffs it up enough that it coats everything with this really, really cool texture. And they didn't highlight that. I was like so mad. I was like, that's the point of this fucking dish is that I took it to a place no one thought of, and that, so yeah. Anyway, it's like, yeah, this is content where we can talk about things that happened and discuss, and we're not looking at screens right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all this content out here, I'm like,
there's a lot.
There's a lot.
That's why what I'm trying to do is just try to make mostly educational content. Like every once in a while when I don't have too much content, I might do something ASMR style, just a quick edit and just post it.
Okay.
But I try to do a lot of educational stuff because.
What do you use to edit?
Premiere Pro.
Yeah, you have a whole like studio set up.
Nah.
No?
No, I just use Premiere. Yeah. I just have a PC that I built, and I actually film. A lot of people don't know this, but I film on my iPhone.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's that good,
So I wanted to ask you about that. What camera do you use? Because my buddy Michael, the keto chef, he uses like a SLR. Is that the term? And I know Nick's using a nice ass camera, but he gets so close. Yeah. He gets so close. But so I just got the new iPhone 13. What do you have?
Same.
Yeah. Okay. You gotta give me a little lesson.
Yeah, I mean, those cameras are phenomenal. I think if you're going to be doing YouTube, and DSLR works great.
Yeah.
But for TikTok and Instagram, the resolution doesn't go that high, so an iPhone's kind of like enough. And especially the iPhone 13 the camera on that is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it definitely changed the game right away. And that cinematic view, like I've done some cool stuff with it, but. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's just the thing. It's like every time because I got to deal with Thor Kitchens.
I think I saw that on your Instagram, right?
Yeah. So it's been a great partnership. They're awesome. I love their stuff. It all happened because I was just like, I'm in an apartment. I got the shitty stove that comes with the apartment. Yeah. There's a microwave that I don't fucking use. Like if I reheat coffee, I'll do it on the stove because it gets hotter.
Yeah.
And it stays hotter longer. But then also I have a little electric coffee cup that keeps the coffee warm. So I don't have to worry. I'm like, I'm not using this microwave. Like, let's get it out of here. But that wasn't even like the thought. But then we had this crappy, like, the white fridge that like the freezer's up top and you got to bend down. And I'm like, I'm an adult with like children's appliances and my dishwasher is like this, it was all shitty. But it all like came with the apartment. So I'm like, well, I don't know what to like. I can't go. Like they won't upgrade it because the lease you have, whatever rules. It's like I'm like, okay. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just get a new stove. And then I was like looking, but I didn't have I just didn't have the budget yet. I just landed like a really good private chef gig, and so I had money coming in, but it wasn't go buy a whatever. And so I just messaged Thor. I'm like, hey, I was like, I was on MasterChef. Do you think we could do like, is there any discount you could give me if I'd like do a video or something? And I was just asking for a discount. I was like, because it looked cool and it wasn't too expensive. And they messaged me back. They're like, how's the rest of your kitchen? I was like, terrible. They're like, what if we do this? And they hooked me up.
That's awesome.
Stove. They took the microwave out. We put in a hood, which is awesome. And then they put in a fridge, barely fucking fit in the space. I mean, I'm talking like we had to sand down the wall to slide it in, and then dishwasher, and then a wine fridge. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. And then, I have to do so many posts and so many videos and recipes and whatever. And it's fun. It's challenging. But at the same time, I'm like, I just feel like this, whatever recipe I come up with, it's already out there. Mm-hmm. So why me? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think if you're asking me, if it were me, I haven't actually started the new season of MasterChef.
Okay.
But like let's say this were happening around season 6, mm-hmm. and I was like a huge fan of yours, and I saw you cooking something, and you did a tutorial on it, like this is what I cooked on I would just be all over that. I'm like, I gotta recreate that. People like that stuff.
All right, I'll try.
Yeah,
I'll try.
Even though they might not be following you on Instagram, doesn't mean that like if that video pops up, I guarantee you some people will actually try that.
Yeah, I gotta try this TikTok thing. I haven't. I've maybe posted like 5 videos on TikTok. I just like, it's just a whole nother beast, But I am annoyed with the Instagram algorithm. So maybe let's just test out TikTok and see what happens. Mm-hmm. I know that people don't like the algorithm. I don't know why Instagram is stuck with it, because everyone hates it.
They recently, and it's funny you bring this up, they recently just changed it. And that now what they're doing is they're promoting smaller creators through Reels. So they're taking smaller creators. And I think this might be because TikTok is doing so well and everyone's like, I can grow an audience here on TikTok. They're like, well, we need to bring this back to Instagram, because back in the day, it was a lot easier to grow on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so now what they're doing is they're promoting smaller creators. I don't know what smaller creators means. I don't know if that's 100,000 and smaller, 10,000 and smaller, 1,000. I don't know what that is, right. But they're definitely promoting them through Reels, and they're making it easier for smaller creators to go viral. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think this is about a week ago or so that I saw.
Okay. Well, I haven't posted a reel in a week, so that would make sense. I need to do. I'm like running out of time. I need to do some more cooking videos for Thor. Mm-hmm. And I edit with Splice. Have you ever used that?
Yeah. For is that the GoPro one?
No, it's just an app on the phone.
Splice app. Oh yeah.
It's so user friendly. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like I'm just playing a video game. I'm just like clicking, cut, click, cut, click, cut.
That's how I used to do it.
Yeah.
When I first started my first.
So why did you switch to Premiere?
Year or so I did that. I actually don't know. Why did I switch to Premiere? I think what I started doing is when I started doing more and more videos, I just film like a few back to back, and I'd upload all the content through Dropbox to my computer. And now that it was already there, I just download
easier,
it. I think it's
bigger screen,
easier to see.
Yeah.
But the difference, I don't think it makes too much of a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really like editing the colors or anything. It's more just cutting the content. Sometimes speeding it up a little bit if it's too long.
Are you still teaching?
This was my last year.
No way.
Yeah.
You're making enough from social media. Do you have any other cooking?
It's a little bit more than teaching. So.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, teachers don't really necessarily get paid that well, unfortunately.
Sure.
But, yeah.
But you're supporting it with something that you love doing.
Yeah, I love teaching too. It's just this also gives me the opportunity to help my brother out, to give my brother a job where we can work together.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that's really cool, because he's my camera guy now.
Oh, no shit.
He's really talented with that stuff.
Wow.
And
so you don't just put it on a tripod or a stand. He follows you.
I used to do tripod, but now it's getting to the point where it's just too hard to move my phone around from shot to shot. And I was like, hey, look, this is. I don't pay him a lot. I can't afford that yet. But
sure.
I'm like, hey, look, if this makes it big, one day you'll be able to make a living off this, So that was the goal. And we're working towards it. My wife gave me 1 year. And if I can make it by the end of this, like I have another, 11 months to go. If I can make it within the next 11 months, then this is what I'm going to do. If not, I go back to teaching. So.
Wow.
So we'll see how it goes.
Dude, that's awesome. Giving yourself, we got to do that. We got to give ourselves deadlines and make things happen.
But you know how challenging. I mean, this is Southern California. It's expensive. Like,
Dude, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were inquiring about things that I do, and I started like going through it all, and they were like, "Holy shit, like, you're busy." And I'm like, it was just like before MasterChef, like I was just poor, and I was tired of not having money and the freedom to go do things or go to restaurants that I want to go to, and I was just like, I'm over it, and I just was like, it's time to hustle, and I didn't know what MasterChef was gonna bring. It was like I went on that show with nothing, and I was
season 6, right?
Yeah,
that's right,
yeah. I had nothing. I was getting an unemployment check because I had a dispute with a restaurant that I was working at, and they let me go, and I went and applied for unemployment, and that was literally the only reason I was able to like pay my rent while I was on MasterChef, and I've never told anyone that, but it was so stressful, and then I got done and I didn't win, and I was like that close, and I was just like heartbroken. I was like,
that's tough.
I was like, I was that fucking close to like just getting out of the debt and the being stuck, and then it was like a really hard 3 months waiting for it to air. I went to like started like waiting tables at this one restaurant, and they were associated with the hotel, so they take all your tips and they put them on your check, and I was like, wait, what? You didn't tell me that. And I was like 3 days into that job, and I had to quit. I was like, I can't work that way. And then, and like also in the contract, like we couldn't like cook really yet. Like we weren't allowed. I don't know. There was something about like we can't go chef at places or anything. Can't go cook any. And I was like, and then I started thinking about. I was like, this is gonna be big. This is gonna do something. Because I remember there was a moment that when we filmed it, like I called Kimberly and I was like, I just changed our lives today. I was like, I don't know what it is yet, but I was like, it felt big on the set, and then, but I was just like, this show is gonna start airing. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Is it gonna lead to a restaurant? Is it gonna lead like? I just had no idea. There's no user manual, You just
no one's really done this before, They might have had like 60 people that have.
But there are like I messaged Luca when I got off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he like. I was really annoyed with his answer.
What did he say?
Well, I was like, dude, like what do you like? What do you I was like, I'm thinking about doing some private dinners. Like, what do I charge? Like, and he was like, yeah, you should do that. He goes, charge whatever. I'm like,
charge whatever.
I'm like, I don't know what. And it was like every chef I hit up, I got like a weird answer. And then now that I'm this far into it, I get it. I'm like, the answer is made up. It's the wild, wild west. It's like, well, what is your value? That's why I'm saying you got 600,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah. I wouldn't do less than like $6,000 for a video. I would just be like, that's what I'm charging. Yeah. I think I'm good with like demand that way. It just comes from the music business. Like,
yeah, that's what you did before, right?
Yeah.
Do you still play?
Man, I haven't. This is scary to admit, but I haven't played on a drum set in over a year now. I've been so busy. They're stacked up. Like
good busy.
Good busy. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, podcast, cookie company, private chef biz, like hiring other chefs to go do other gigs, like, and the cookie business. This was supposed to be a side hustle that I did on my days off, and it's blowing up.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
how did you start this?
So the client that I cook for, she asked me one day for Valentine's Day to make a bunch of cookies for their office. So I made like 100 cookies, bagged them up like 3 to a bag. We tied a little bow around them. It was cute. And I took a picture of it and posted it on my Instagram story. And dude, like I got so many messages. They were like, are you selling cookies? Are you selling cookies? Yeah. I'm like, fuck no, but maybe I should be, right? So, but I was like, I can't just make a box. I started doing the math. I started putting the puzzle together. I'm like, okay, if I have an oven, it's got 2 racks, maybe 3, whatever, but then you're cramming the oven. They're not gonna cook evenly anyway. So it's like 2 racks on a sheet pan. You can only get about 9 cookies. You can't get 12 unless they're really small, and no one's buying really small cookies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can only get 9 cookies on a sheet pan. So I'm going to have to do 9 more. So I'm only getting like 1.5 orders if I'm selling a dozen cookies. I'm only going to get 1.5 orders out of a bake. I'm like, I got to figure out how to get more orders in one oven. And so then I was like, what do I do? Like giant cookies. And so I just started experimenting. I made like some cookie dough and I piled it up. And it was like, I was like, I'm going to go s'mores first. And so I made this cookie dough with marshmallows and chocolate and whatever. And like, you know, not thinking about what's going to happen. And I put it in the oven just to like test it. And like the marshmallows just like puffed up. This dough just like filled out the whole baking sheet. And I was like, that didn't work. I was like, okay. And I was like, but I didn't want to just make regular normal cookies. I mean, I came from season 6. We got Christina Tosi. She's got Milk Bar. She has cakes and cookies, and her cookies are in the grocery store. And I'm just like, I can't just be the same thing. And then, and also, my initial idea was, I'm just gonna put these cookies. When I figured out that it was gonna be a big cookie, I found a mold. I cook it in the mold. I had to play with temperatures because, it's thicker. It's whatever. So I did a lot of experimenting, but I was just going to put it in a white box, put a sticker on it and mail this sucker out. And when I got the cookie ready, it was just a basic recipe at that time. I started emailing some people. I was like, I need a logo. And then I got referred to these guys from Francis from season 5, which you should watch that season.
Was that Luca's season?
No.
Francis, I don't.
Francis was on season 5 with Leslie and Christian and
I don't think I watched that season.
Yeah, you should watch that season. That's the one that sparked me to go. Yeah. That season was intense. But so I hit up Francis and he's like, yo, check these guys out. So I have a call with them and they're like, we could do your website, we could do your boxes, we could do your logo. And they put a whole package in. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I guess I got to do it. Like now I'm spending real money. Like it went from being this like couple $100 working on some dough, I'm gonna get some boxes, to okay, I'm putting like 20 grand into this cookie now. And then it was like, okay. And they hit me with this box first with this logo. And I was like, damn, this is dope. And then I
just got the E=MC².
Yeah.
Epic Mega Cookie Company.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I was wondering why you had that on the back of the box.
But anyway, my buddy Santino gave me that idea. But so they hit me with this logo and I was like, this is punk rock. This is exactly what I wanted. And I was like, fuck, now I got to make a better cookie. Because like my cookie was not as good as this box. And I was like, I can't send out a half-ass cookie. Which was good. So then I went back to the drawing board and I spent like 6 months developing my base dough, and I just so many different combinations of butter and sugar and flour and different types of butter and cooking at different temperatures. And now I got this dope cookie. And then it was like, okay, I'm just gonna bake on Sundays, like have Saturday off, bake on Sunday, ship these cookies on Monday. And then now like we're getting asked to do events, and we got a residency at a shopping center, and like these things are shipping all over the country, and I'm just like, it's wild.
So is this like kind of like the main thing you're doing right now?
No, I mean I have a full-time private chef gig that like I'm not giving up until I have like $2 million in the bank.
Yeah.
And then by then I'll probably need 5 and I'll just still be working for them. No, they're the best. I love working for this family. Like it's just like, it's all, the mental health of it is so great. Cause I also, after MasterChef, I went into kitchens. I was like, I gotta go, earn my stripes and figure this out if I really want to be a chef. And like, it's just different. Like, I mean, have you watched The Bear?
I've heard of it. Everyone from season 1 of Next Level Chef is talking about it, but I haven't. I just don't have time to look at the stuff yet. But
dude, that you'll binge it so quick. Yeah. You'll watch it. That 10 episodes went by so fast, but it's nail on the head what it feels like. And like, I've been on the line when other chefs and cooks are trying to sabotage me because they don't want me to.
Really?
Yeah, it happens. You'll see it in the show. They fucking nail it down. And so it's just like the mental health of it. It's like you don't get paid a lot. You're killing yourself. And then the repetition, it's like you're doing the same fucking thing every day.
And you want to be creative.
And I like to be creative, right? And so with private chefing, it's so the opposite that some days I'm like, I can't come up with a new idea. Like I have writer's block. Sometimes it feels like that because like back when we would make music, it was like, man, like I've already done that beat, I've already done that fill, we already have a song at this tempo. Like so, it's the same kind of thing. It's like I've done so many different variations of risotto or a pasta dish. It's like I need to do something new. So that's the fun thing about private chefing. But yeah, so when you're not doing these videos, you're not teaching. What are you doing for fun? What are your hobbies?
Right now, like it seems like all I'm doing is videos. When you said you were busy, that's why I was like good busy because I feel the same way.
You gotta make time to do stuff though.
We love to travel.
Yeah.
Kind of slowed down a little bit after the pandemic because it's harder to get around and but we still do like lots of road trips and stuff. Go to the beach a lot. We're a little further from the beach now.
Yeah.
Just because it was too expensive to live where we were living.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
That's kind of what I do for fun. I like to cook. Obviously.
You're just like cooking.
How about you?
You know, like, so I'm all about like electric things. Like, we have the same car. We both have Teslas. It's dope. I have an electric bike too. By Monday Motorbikes, and so it's technically a bicycle, but it looks like a motorcycle. It looks like a small motorcycle. It does 45 miles an hour and gets 100 miles to a charge.
Oh, that's sweet.
So like on my days off, like I jump on that thing and cruise up the beach, and like I'm kind of aggressive. Like I have like a full like helmet. I got one of those Rock like snowboard helmets, but it's got like the full face and the goggles, and then I get on this thing, but then I'm on the bike path and like it pisses off the old dudes because they're like, no motorcycles on the bike. I'm like, it's a bicycle. I just start pedaling, like, and they're like, what the hell? Because I like
the Tour de France looking dudes on their street.
Oh god, they're so annoying.
Yeah,
and it's the worst too because I drive up the PCH to work, and on Saturday mornings, like, dude, they think they're like, Tour de France, like full on giant groups. Sometimes it'll be like 100 dudes on bikes in their little spandex and taking up the entire road. I'm like, this is one of the most dangerous roads in our country, and you guys just every Saturday morning out here risking it for what?
Yeah, that's how I used to ride too. I used to do triathlons, and they'd even get angry at me, and I was riding a road bike, and they'd be like move out of the way if you're going too slow, or like one time I went on the wrong side of the road on the bike lane, and the guy was just so angry, and I was like, man, the other side was blocked, like I couldn't even get in the bike lane.
I had this guy. I was
so tight.
I was on the bike path on the beach, and this guy saw me on he could tell from far away because of my helmet that I'm on electric bike or a motor bike. And he starts playing chicken with me, and he's yelling, get off the bike path, get off the bike. And I'm like, where do you want me? There's sand on both sides right now. I'm like, I'm like, I'm not stopping. I will hit you. Yeah. Like, I'll stick my feet out and javelin you, whatever. Like, what is this dude thinking? And then he swerved last second, and I was just like, what a psycho. Like, these dudes like ride through like they own the fucking place. Like, so I like to do that. I cruise around that. Up in have you been like the beach in Santa Monica, like original Muscle Beach, where they have like all the swings and like rings and stuff? I've been going to the rings since like 2006. Dude, they're the best. You just like, it's like 10 rings in a row, and you swing from ring to ring like Spider-Man. Like, fun time.
That's tight.
Fun time. And actually, I met one of my good friends there, and he is he's a stunt double for Spider-Man, and like, it's so funny because like no one that's watching, anybody that's standing by watching, they don't know him, and when he swings, they're like, "Man, he looks like Spider-Man," and all I'm thinking is, "Yeah, because he's fucking Spider-Man." He really awesome. Is. Yeah, it's cool. That's a lot of fun. So him and I, we cruise around on electric bikes, and we go swing at the beach, and then I just go like, or we go eat sushi. Like that's like a hobby. Yeah. Do you like sushi?
I love sushi.
Oh my god, you been any good places out here?
No. Where we live, we don't really have many good places. It's kind of more like in the Inland Empire.
Right.
It's a little further from the ocean. So usually, like when we have stuff like that, it's usually stuff that I make myself. So I'll drive over to like Brea. There's a fish market over there. Pick up some tuna or something and come home and make something out of it. But it's not like the Santa Monica fish market you guys got here. But is that any good or?
It's like Santa Monica seafood.
The actual fish market that you guys have it here it's in LA, right?
Oh, I honestly don't think that I've been to it. I go to the little market in Malibu. And then I have like I have a friend that has he owns a open water fish farm like in the ocean down in Baja, and he raises kampachi. And so like if I want to do something that I hit him up. Yeah. Dude, it's wild. Yeah. He like it's this giant just like this giant net, but I'm talking like giant, like bigger than it's like 3 football fields. Yeah. And they just drop it in the ocean, and then they dropped in like eggs and fish, and then it just grew, and it's like, and they grow, it's like growing in the wild, but they just have it netted off so they can get them out. And dude, it's so good. It's so good. So
it's like a wild fish, but it's also farmed in the wild. So
it's farmed in the wild, so
basically it's wild.
Super sustainable and really, really, really good fish. I wish I could just eat it all the time. And the lowest mercury levels of
really,
like he even told me, he's like, you could be pregnant and eat this and be fine. I was like, wow. So dude, sushi that's like truly like.
Is that your favorite?
Well, when I'm not cooking, like if I go out, there's like I have like levels, and tell me if you feel the same. It's like I'm only gonna go to something that I can't make myself, or sushi, or I'll get something just like pre-made just to eat real quick. That's like, but that's it. It's like, and then it's different levels of sushi, but that's a different conversation. But it's just like I can't be able to make it, or I want to like learn from it, or sushi.
Similar, yeah. So every time we go on vacation, we always try to we always pick one nice restaurant. Yeah. Something that's like we just wouldn't typically eat every night. Yeah. Sushi is also something we like, but usually because I'm filming so many recipes, like I'll cook 5 different meals in a day. By the time it gets like, if I'm still hungry, I'll just order something like just whatever's quick and easy because you're tired, you know.
Yeah, and my problem is when I order something, I'm like, if sushi's open, I order sushi.
You're like, I want sushi.
Dude, I spend so much money on sushi. It's stupid. It's stupid. But like, we went to this place. Have you heard of a sushi bar?
Like just a general sushi bar?
No, it's called Sushi Bar.
Oh no.
They have the first one that they opened was up in Encino, and it's a sushi speakeasy. So there's Scratch Bar restaurant, and then you make the reservation through Scratch Bar. It's a little different now. It's still a speakeasy, but it's not like everyone knows about it now. But like before, like you had to make the reservation at Scratch Bar, and you go to Scratch Bar and you ring the doorbell, and they let you in, and you go into this like little train car kind of thing, and it's got a bar, and you sit, and they give you a complimentary drink, and then like the maitre d' comes in, and they're like, okay, we're ready for you, and then they take you through Scratch Bar, through the dish pit, like out the back door, and then down an alleyway, and then a little special knock on another door, and then they open it up, and it's 8 seats at a sushi counter, and it's just like, it's so private. I mean, that's it, 8 seats. It was like, I don't know, it was like 17, 18 courses, and dude, it's insane. But
is it like some Michelin star restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
it's like, I think it's one or two. I don't know. We spent stupid money there that night because this is how they get you. It really wasn't that bad getting the seat, and then we did the wine pairing, which we're done doing wine pairings because before you get to the end, like you're so toasted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you do the wine pairings when you do any like Michelin dining?
I've actually never been to a Michelin star restaurant. I'm dying to go.
What?
I've told her I wanted to go. I want to go to what's the one it's north of Napa? The French Laundry.
Oh, the French. Yeah, I haven't been there either, dude.
That's the one I'm dying to go to.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'll give you some warm up locations before you go there. You got to prepare.
Yeah.
That can't be your first.
Yeah. Are there any good ones here in LA?
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
But sushi bar, they let you, after you do the like 17 courses, then they let you order a la carte.
Yeah.
And so I ordered the whole menu again, but it's more expensive when you do it a la carte. So I'm like, I just paid twice as much for the same meal, and it was just like, we had a great time. But Melise is here in Santa Monica. Melise is owned by Josiah Citron. It's a 2 Michelin star restaurant. Super, super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when we do these dinners, we'll do the wine pairing, and they pair with each course. And even like the smallest pour, when you do that many courses, like you're hammered by the end.
Mm-hmm.
So we had someone tell us, if you're gonna do tasting menus, order like a really, really good red and a really, really good white, and get full pours, and then just bounce back and forth depending on what the course is. And since we've been doing that, like, it's so much more fun.
You probably save money too.
Yeah, I mean, we're not like, you're not really trying to save money when you go to these things. Like, I was telling somebody last night, like, I got advice when I was in my early 20s. This lady that was just like so successful. She was like, life's too short for bad wine and cheap seats. And it's like, I'm like, I want to live by that. Like, you can't take it with you. Just get the good seats, get the good wine, and it's a lot more fun. And yeah, you might have to make up for it later, but whatever. You work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Melise is a good one.
Melise is in LA.
Yeah, it's in Santa Monica. Somni, I'm bummed that they didn't make it through the pandemic. It was at the Bazaar, so Jose Andres Bazaar at SLS. Have you heard of that?
But he's the one with the one in Mexico City, right?
Jose Andres is like, he's the one that's like saving Ukraine right now, feeding Ukraine. He has World Central Kitchen, which is his like chef mission,
that,
and then he's one of the most decorated chefs, and he does all molecular gastronomy stuff. Like, he does a lot in DC. He has this one restaurant in DC called Mini Bar. He's got a bunch in Vegas. But he's insane. But anyway, the Bazaar at the SLS, you should check that out. That blow your mind.
So he had a restaurant there.
So he has a restaurant there. The Bazaar is still there at the SLS hotel, but inside the Bazaar, they put another mini restaurant called Somni. So it was in like the back of the kitchen, and it was only 10 seats, and it was insane, and it was like 22 courses. But Arturo Zabala was the chef there. Dude, you got to look this dude up. He is one of the most brilliant chefs.
He's legit.
Like, I mean, have you been to Spain?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so in Spain, like, one of the like just traditional tapas is pan con tomate, and it's just like a French baguette with macerated tomatoes, olive oil, salt, and it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. But he did this play on it. He takes tomato water and makes a meringue, and then makes the meringue look like toast. He made it look like a fucking piece of toast.
Like a baguette or like a piece of bread?
He made it just look like a piece of bread, and then he puts this macerated tomato over the top, and then he like hand places the tomato seeds, and then does like this. He makes it look like charcoal burns, like as if it was, toasted on a grill. And it's the most insane bite. Like, it's just this fluffy, like, it just disappears in your mouth, and then you're left with all this like tomato salt flavor. The dude's a genius. He's a genius. But Jose,
so he works with Jose Andres.
Yeah, he used to work. I think they call it the Think Food Group. Is like the umbrella that does all of Jose's restaurants. but I don't know if he's with them anymore or not. But Jose, like when you go to the bazaar, the Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Dude, he does like this puff. It does like this puff, and then it's filled with the cheese sauce and the steak, and like it's the most insane bite. Like I'm telling you, these two guys, like when you have their food, like it becomes like core memory. Like it's just there.
I gotta try one of his. Can you mind pulling up a photo of Jose? I'm not good with names, but if I saw a picture, I'd probably.
Dude, I like. Just don't admit to people.
Nah. Everyone on Next Level Chef already knows. Yeah, like when they say names, like I didn't even like by name. I didn't know Naisha or Richard Blaze, but when I saw them, I was like,
way.
Yeah, when I saw them, I was like, oh yeah, I know who they are. And
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm probably the only teacher on the planet that's not good with names.
How were they as judges? Like, how did you feel?
They were cool. What was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a time fucking chef of the century. He's out there saving the world. Anyway,
I have one of the contestants on Next Level Chef actually went to the World Central Kitchen right now. I think it's in Poland, Ukraine.
Yeah, over in Ukraine. Yeah, yeah, he's over there feeding all. Honestly, like I wish I could do it. That I mean, it's all just like, we living here in LA. Like I can't not, make a certain amount of money, and I know like I would leave in a heartbeat, but then I'd go broke.
You can't pay your rent.
Yeah.
You take a week off and it's game over.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of chefs, how's your palate?
I don't know, actually. I think I know what you're going to do. I think I know what you're going to do. You're going to blindfold me.
I forgot the blindfold.
We can make something work.
We can make something work.
Yeah.
We're going to have to... This is going to be funny. Well, we might... I was gonna say we could tie your jacket around your head. It's gonna be funny.
We'll make it work.
Dang it! I knew when I saw it on the dresser, and I was like, I need to put this in my bag. Yeah, we're gonna do a little blind taste test.
Let's do it.
I like to, check our cooks and chefs' palates. I challenge everybody.
I'm down.
Hilarious. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, double knot it because it feels like it's. Oh.
Sorry.
That's good. Yeah.
She's been wanting to do this for a while.
I can tell. Yeah. That's for not cleaning the dishes last night.
Dude, that's also the hard part about making all these videos. All the dishes, right?
Oh, we do. We're renting a house right now, and we had to buy a new dishwasher just because. So it's a funny story. We got a. What is this?
That's the microphone.
Oh.
What is That's gonna be the fucking reel.
Yeah, we got a new dishwasher because I was like, I need a 1 hour cycle because I do probably anywhere from 3 to 5 loads in the dishwasher per day. And because when you're filming, like if you make a bowl dirty, you need a clean bowl for your next take, if you mess up that take. And
right.
I don't want to go sit and wash dishes in between takes. And
yeah.
So we ended up buying this new dishwasher, put a bunch of money into it. And I didn't even check if it has a 1 hour cycle. And the shortest cycle it has is like almost 3 hours.
What? How is that a thing? No, there's got to be a quick cycle.
There's like an energy saver cycle, but it doesn't do that great of a job.
I have never seen a dishwasher without a quick cycle. That's crazy.
We bought a brand new one, a really nice one too, and it doesn't even have it.
You could probably sell it.
Yeah.
Get something. Okay.
Let's see.
I got an array of ingredients here. We're gonna
I'm excited for this.
Test your knowledge. If you're stuck on if you're trying to figure it out, like talk about it. You know what I mean?
All
like
right.
describe it, whatever. But if you know it and right away, just say it out loud, and then you might win something and not be a loser anymore.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so I'll just say open up, and then I'll spoon feed you.
All right.
All right, open up. What do you think?
Good.
It's good.
It's cold. It's sweet. See, when I first took a bite out of it,
when you take your eyes out of the equation,
yeah, I'm like 100% sure it's a carrot, but I feel like you're You're playing tricks with me, but I'm gonna go with carrot.
It's a carrot.
Okay.
What's wild is the amount of chefs that have missed that ingredient.
I thought you were trying to play like games with me, like let's give him something that tastes like a carrot.
Here, reach out your hand. I'm gonna give you your water so you can.
Thank you.
Can't believe I forgot the blindfold. Damn it. This worked though. You look like you're in a heist movie.
I mean, this thing is smashing my nose. No, it's all good. It makes it fun.
All right, open up. This is a tough one.
Okay.
That was a hard one to get small. What are we thinking?
I don't like this one.
Eating without your eyes is so difficult.
It is. It's surprising. I've never done this before.
I'm surprised they didn't do this to us on MasterChef ever, and I'm surprised you guys didn't have to do it on Next Level Chef. He does it on Hell's Kitchen.
I want to say it's a little bitter. I want to say some type of lettuce.
Well, yeah. Hone in.
Can I have another piece?
Sure. Open up. There we go. What do you think?
I want to go with I don't know. I want to go with some type of cabbage, but it tastes a little bit more bitter than.
Give it a guess.
I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with. It's not, I don't know. I want to say maybe radicchio, but it's not
so
that bitter.
Close.
Radicchio?
So close. Endive.
Endive. Okay.
All right, next one.
Hold up. That one was gross.
I like endive.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Really?
What is this?
What?
Have I eaten this before? What? Let me get some more of that.
Oh man, you're funny.
Yeah, when I tasted that, I was like, I've never had this before.
Yeah, you have.
When I watch this back, I'm gonna laugh, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're all gonna be laughing at this point. Really?
I want to go with it's more acidic than dragon fruit. Maybe kiwi? Yeah, I'll go with kiwi.
Kiwi it is.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
That was so confusing. It must be hilarious for you guys to be watching.
Alright.
Oh man, I'm nervous.
No, don't be nervous. I think you'll get this.
All right.
We gotta give you a layup real quick.
Turkey. If I'm wrong on that one.
Nope.
Not turkey?
Nope.
Chicken breast?
Yep. Chicken breast.
He drops a whole truffle in my mouth.
I gave my buddy Adrian anchovy paste. that was a funny one.
Some wasabi in there.
Oh, and I gave Dara. Oh, that one hasn't come out yet. I can't say.
Can't leak it yet.
Can't leak it yet. Actually, I can't. I gave her cottage cheese, and she told me she hates cottage cheese. That was funny. All right, open up. I think you wouldn't eat the spoon on that one.
You know, people always make fun of me for biting the spoon. Oh, this one's interesting. Something between like a beet and a carrot.
That's an interesting description.
Whoa. This tastes familiar, but like it's like a little sweet, very earthy. What's between a beet and a carrot?
What is? It's only a couple things.
Some kind of root vegetable.
Okay.
Have I gotten any wrong yet?
Now you're getting warmer.
You
didn't get endive.
I didn't get endive. I got one wrong.
Yeah. Well, you guessed turkey on chicken.
Some kind of like heirloom carrot.
Close. Parsnip.
Parsnip. Oh, you know, I've actually never had parsnip before.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We had a Next Level Chef, Trisha, made parsnip puree, and she's like, "You want some?" And I was like, "Nah," because I didn't know what. I mean, I know what parsnip is, but I've never had it before, so I didn't know if I'd like it.
Did she take the core out of it?
I don't know, but she made a parsnip truffle puree, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everyone was like, "This is really good." So now I regret trying it. It was actually really tasty.
I'm surprised you haven't made one.
I don't think I have.
All right, last one.
Yeah, the flavor of that one's like in my mouth, like everywhere.
You're funny, dude. All right, open up.
All I could taste was the parsnip still.
Oh, really?
Give me a sec.
This blindfold's ridiculous. Thank you so much.
It tastes spicy.
What?
Yeah, like a cinnamon type spice. Maybe it's the parsnip. You guys are dying, aren't you?
I don't think they know what it is.
Can I try it again?
Yeah.
My whole mouth still tastes like parsnip.
Tastes spicy. That's funny.
It really does. Like, I mean, kind of the parsnip kind of. It's too sweet to be jicama. Oh, this is a really sweet jicama.
I like jicama. I should make that an ingredient. I'm gonna do that next.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what this is. It tastes like cinnamon. Like very spicy.
Interesting. Pear.
That's a pear?
Yep. Pear.
I had no idea that's what a pear tasted like.
Oh, that's funny. All right, you can take the blindfold off. That was good.
Holy smokes. I got, of all the things to get wrong, I got, right. I got a pear wrong. That
Pear.
did not taste like a pear at all.
And questionable on the chicken.
In the chicken one, yeah.
But it was one of those things where it's like you see them do it in Hell's Kitchen. They'll so confidently answer because like, turkey, or the vice versa. They'll be like chicken, and it's turkey.
Yeah.
And it's just because like, I don't know. It's like maybe you had a turkey sandwich recently, and that tasted similar.
I did not. Can I have a?
Yeah.
Let me see if it tastes different with your eyes open. Tastes like cinnamon. Is it just me? Am I like, is this a... Try one. It's like a little spicy. It's just me, isn't it?
No, I can see how it's got like a hint of cinnamon. Maybe that's why cinnamon goes so well with pear.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
that one.
Now that you say it,
That was the most confusing out of all of them.
really interesting.
Yeah, I was like, I have never done that before. With your eyes closed, I had no idea what that's what like it like. It's so
It's kind
much
of fun, right?
Yeah, it's not even difficult. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just I think I need to do that more often. I think that would change the game if I kept doing that.
Yeah, I think it's fun. But anyway, so I brought you an epic mega cookie.
Thank you, sir.
You're supposed to win it, but
how many do I need to get right to win it? Oh my god.
Did I not put the tissue paper?
That looks rad. No, you did.
This is our newest flavor. I call it Taking Back Sunday.
It's got some waffle cone in there. I see a cherry.
Yeah, so it's
like an ice cream sundae.
It's an ice cream sundae cookie. It's a chocolate cookie base, and then it's filled with rainbow sprinkles and chocolate chips and maraschino cherries and marshmallow and waffle cone pieces. Dude, it's bomb.
I can't wait to try it.
Oh, and then there's a buttercream filling
to
like play on whipped cream. Nice. Yeah, so you guys can share that.
I'm gonna wait till I get home so I can throw it into a video.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Dude, we should do a video together.
That'd be tight.
I'm totally trying to jump in on your
No,
following.
go for it. I've never done a collab before.
No?
You could be my first collab.
Let's do it. Tight. What should we do?
I don't know.
This is where I get stuck. I'm like,
yeah.
Because also a lot of stuff that I like to do, like people aren't going to be able to do at home anyway. And then I kind of realized recently, it's like that's not the point. The point is they just want to watch something happen.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Like I love, like from season 6 of finale, the infused watermelon. I love doing that. It's just so cool. It's like watermelon's already good, and then when you drop it into a chamber vacuum with some kind of flavor, like sometimes I'll put tequila and lime juice in there and make little, tequila margarita bites.
Did you do the watermelon rind that was infused? Was that you? Or was it watermelon?
I pickled the watermelon rind.
Okay.
I infused the meat of the watermelon with chili and lime. And then I took the rest of the watermelon, juiced it, and made like a plum sauce with it. Mm-hmm. It was that dish alone, pork belly and watermelon 3 ways. I mean, that thing was.
Were you in the zone in the finale?
I was so in the zone.
Yeah.
Like I was pumped. I mean, I was like, I played baseball a lot growing up, and then like when I was in the band, we did a lot of battle of the bands, and like, I guess I've never really thought of myself as competitive, even though I have competed a lot. But when I'm competing, I'm just like, this is the only place to just really like, I don't know, I guess like prove that you're good at it, or you know what I mean? It's like, if you think you're good at home, great, but how do you measure it? You got to go up against the best, right? So I don't know. I was just, I was mad in the zone. I was like, because also I was very strategic about what I was making. So like my appetizer was like my homage to Florida and growing up in Florida in the South, and watermelon. When I was like 5, I put salt on watermelon, and that changed my mind about everything. I was like, that was my like origin story, right? It was like, I was like, what? Salt on watermelon? That's amazing. Yeah. And so that was there. And then when I was 5, we moved to Colorado. We lived in Colorado till I was 14. So the entree, I did venison. And so that was like my tribute to Colorado.
The one with the cage over,
with the cage,
right? I remember that, yeah.
And then the dessert was my like homage to LA. It's like, it's fancy, it's clever. I'm doing the microwave cake. So that was the story of the whole meal, which I felt like was very compelling. And then in each dish, I did something that had never been done on MasterChef before. Infusing the watermelon in the chamber vacuum, making the puff pastry cage. Like that had never been like done anywhere. Like you can Google puff pastry cage and I come up.
I've never seen it done before, yeah.
But so for the dessert, I did the microwave cake. And I really I had a meeting with the producers. I called him in. I was like, if I do this microwave cake, I was like, I need to know that Gordon Ramsay is not going to give me shit for bringing a microwave into the finale. I was like, I'll make a regular cake if I know that this is going to hurt me.
Yeah.
I was like, and they were like, no, like it's all good. And I'm like, okay. But then also the dessert, I was trying to show all the techniques that I learned all the way up to the finale, because we did so many dessert challenges, because we had Christina Tosi as a judge. It was her first season, and she's, you know, so good at all the baking and confections. So I did the sponge cake. I tempered chocolate, made the mold. Did a lemon curd and made the lemon mousse. And then I made the raspberry coulis, and then I spun sugar, and then yeah, that was every element. And so it was like, I'm showing like all these different techniques. Claudia poached a pear. I'm like, this is not the same fucking game. And so it was just, you know, it was really annoying. But you know,
at the end of the day, it's also, you're on reality TV, right?
yeah.
And reality TV isn't necessarily a cooking competition, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you know, but when you're in there,
yeah.
you feel so much that, like, yes, it is a competition, and you're going over rules, and you're, you know, it's like you're all fighting to stay there, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
do you have any other people that on season 6 that you thought like were just phenomenal cooks that could have been in the finale?
Steven. It should have been
Steven.
I feel like it should have been Steven and I.
Glasses Steven, right?
Yeah. I feel like it should have been Steven and I in the finale. Because we fought we fought head to head so much the entire season, and then there was times where we got put to work together because Nick thought that was going to take us out, and that was dumb because then we're awesome together.
Nick,
you know, Nick Nappy.
Nick. Okay. If I saw a picture, I'd know who it is.
Yeah. Now I feel less bad about you not knowing Jose Andres' name. But anyway, I thought it should have been him and I in the finale. Amanda should have went further in season 6, but her cake didn't, you know, cook. It was raw. So raw cake sends you home in MasterChef.
Yeah. Raw cake, raw chicken, anything like that.
Anything that's raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she should have went further.
So Steven and Amanda.
Yeah, Jesse went home not really early, but earlier than he should have. I think the whole psychology of the game was getting to him. That was one part I loved about it.
Yeah.
I'm mentally, like, I'm just in a different world. Like that doesn't bother me. Like there was that one show that came out for a minute where it was like you had to stay in a room for like whoever leaves the room last wins. It was like, I don't know. Like I could do that.
Is that the thing that you'd win at? Like
I would win,
yeah.
but I could sit in this room by myself and I'd come out stronger. Like I don't know what that is in me. It's like one of my just like secret superpowers. That, and I can chug sparkling water. I don't know.
That's funny. Was your season okay? Was season 6, and I guess this season as well? Was there tension between the castmates or no?
Yeah, we had and we had some tension this season too. Yeah. I had a few issues. Well, also like I was that reality test showing up, and I was like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to fucking win at all costs. But you end up making friends. You end up like it happens, you know. But like I didn't get along with Chris on my season. He annoyed the shit out of me. He was one of those guys, and I don't know if you had one of those on Next Level Chef where like he just talks like he knows every fucking ingredient and every technique and everything, but then like can't back it up. You know, it's like, dude, you just talk, but like, how come you can't make this pie crust right now? Then, like, you're failing. You're sinking our team. Who like? So that shit annoyed me. And there was one day like the judges like last minute changed the rules, and didn't send anyone home. Like they saved him and this other girl, and he was backstage just talking, and I was boiling, but my mic was on. And the minute they took my mic off, I went off on him. Yeah. I was like, dude, just shut the fuck up. You're lucky to fucking be here. Like, I was so mad. Like, I threw a water bottle across the backstage because I was cool, calm, and collected all the way through. And then when he didn't go home and then he was talking shit about why he was still there, I was like, you fuck. No, dude. I was so mad. And then this season, like, Christian, I don't know what his deal is, but he just got annoying, like just like some of the ways he was acting and playing the game. But that's everyone's choice, you know, like
that's so fascinating.
Yeah. And then like Shanika oddly just like throws shade and then acts like it's someone else's fault. It's like, yo, you're throwing the shade. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't know. I'm a cool guy. I'm just like,
easy going.
Stay out of my way. We won't have problems. You want to come get in my way, or you want to come throw shade at me, dude? It's not gonna be good. Anyway, what else, man? What else you got going on?
Nothing. Why did I say it like that? I was gonna say, give me a sec. Yeah, you know, when you said that about about MasterChef, I thought that was interesting because I thought that's how it would be on Next Level Chef, but then everyone just became friends with each other. They were trying to get us to like talk crap on each other, but we just didn't do it.
I think it's a lot different now because everyone's so aware of social media and how you know how easily offended people are these days and that kind of stuff. It's like I mean, in just 5-6 years, like the internet is such a different place, you know, and people treat each other differently in good and bad ways, you know. It's like I have, you know, everyone that's in my tight group, they know that like I won't BS. I won't like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, even like if someone whatever, I'm just a straight shooter, and sometimes that offends people, and it's like I'm not sugarcoating it. Like, you'll thank me later, you know, but that's because some of my best friends have told me early on, like, yo, like, you're not good at this or whatever. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, fuck, I thought I was. And then I'm like, okay, well, I need to get better. Like with drums, my band. I mean, I told this story already on here, but whatever, we're 2 hours in almost. My band came to me one day and they were just like, we were getting ready to do a new record, and they were like, Derrick, you're not good. You're not good.
Really?
And I was like, what? They're like, you kind of suck at the drums, and you either need to get better or we got to find somebody else. And that was the biggest like slap in my face. I was like, holy shit. But
how'd you react to it?
It was almost like an intervention. So there was it was like, okay. And I fucking went home. I put the headphones on and just 6 hours a day, just grinding behind the kit until just playing every one of my favorite records and just dissecting them. And then came back, you know, they gave me I think they gave me like 2 or 3 months, and I came back and they were like, whoa, like it was a different, you know, I was a different person. And that was just really humbling. And it was like, okay, like, you know, but I was also like, I mean, I was like 17, 18 years old. I mean, like, really, you just think I just thought I was hot shit at everything, because everything else I did, I was like, you know, winning baseball tournaments and all that. And it was just like, I just thought I was killing it on the drums, but I wasn't listening, you know? And then, and that changed everything. Now I'm like before I go into anything, I don't lead the way. I sit back and I watch and observe and take in the information and then strike. So it's like I play a different game now. So that's kind of this season of MasterChef. Like, you know, I'm like, I'm not going to jump on the sword and be the first team captain. Like, let somebody else do that. Let's see how this goes, right? That kind of thing. But that's just, I don't know, I guess that's being more mature, right?
Which season did you have more fun on, 6 or 12? 12, right?
It's different.
Is it more challenging now because of some of the tougher competition altogether on season 12?
It is a lot more challenging because the judges are being way more strict. I don't like the COVID aspect of it. Like we're stuck. We were stuck on the 4th floor. Couldn't go down to the restaurant or the bar or the gym or the pool.
Same for us, yeah.
Right. So I had that comparison because season 6, it was like we could go sit in the hot tub and relax, or you go down to the bar and like socialize a little bit and relieve some of that stress. Also with season 6, I definitely went in way like super naive. I didn't know shit. I was just like, I'm the best. I don't know any of these people. Like I didn't know all the restaurants that Graham Elliott had worked at. I didn't know who Christina Tosi was at all. I just knew Gordon. I thought that dude was dope, and I was like, I'm just gonna impress this dude. I didn't think about anyone else. I didn't care about anyone else, and I just like put my head down and just tried to win every challenge. This time, I definitely, obviously knew everyone there, and then also all these other contestants. But like, they hit me up, like, so MasterChef called. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, everything's good right now. Like, I'm going to have to take a leave from work. I'm going to have to, like, I got this cookie going. I'm like, I'm about to start this podcast. I'm like, this could really throw a wrench in everything. And then all these other contestants from other seasons, like, started messaging me. And then DeAndre called me. He was from the season after me.
Okay.
He calls me. And he goes, I know you got the call. He's like, I just need to know if you're going. And I was like, what? I played dumb for a minute. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, oh, he's like, MasterChef called me. And he's like, and you're the only one I'm worried about. So I need to know if you're going. And I was like, dude, you're the only one I'm worried about. I was like, you need to tell me if you're going, because if you're going, I ain't. And then he goes, I don't know. And then, so I waited and had more people hit me up. I was like, fine, fuck it, I'm going. I got to. Like, if everyone's thinking about me from other seasons, because I'm not calling anyone up and saying, are you going? Are you going? I was like, if everyone's thinking about me, then this is something I should do. So then I said yes. And then DeAndre called me like a couple days before. He was like, or before we shipped off, he was like, I got eliminated. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I've worked for Christina Tosi too close to filming, because Fred worked for Christina Tosi too, but there was enough of a gap, I guess, and so he got disqualified. And I was like, fuck, thank God. Because DeAndre
is gonna be tough,
dude. DeAndre is so good. He's so he went home kind of early in his season of MasterChef, but then he's in Vegas, so he's surrounded by all these like really great restaurants, and he just put the work in. He got in with really great chefs and restaurants and Michelin star restaurants, and has been grinding. And like the shit he can do with food is insane. Yeah, but you can tell he's grinding and busy because he doesn't post a lot because he's working crazy hours at a restaurant. And anyway, I got to get him on the podcast because there was a lot of shit that went down in his season. Yeah.
I don't think I saw it. Who won his season?
Sean,
the DJ. I remember that season. Yeah, I did see that season.
Yeah, so DeAndre went home kind of early. But any other shows you want to go on?
MasterChef.
Do you?
Yeah, it's been like a dream. I don't
think they'll let you now though, since you've been on Next Level. It goes the other way.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah. I applied for Hell's Kitchen. Yeah. And I got through a couple rounds, and then the producers were split. It was like, they even told me, they're like, we're at a 50-50 split. Some of us think it's a really good idea. Some of us don't want the crossover. And I was like, motherfucker.
Try Next Level.
I emailed them.
You'll have fun with it.
Do you have a casting email?
I have Instagram contacts that you can contact. Okay. I know for season 2 they've already done, like, they finished the casting. Yeah. Like a couple weeks ago they're down to the top 25. But season 3, I think you'd have fun.
I think I'd have fun too.
It's a very different, like, you only have 30 minutes I think it was 30 minutes.
That's also insane.
It was tough, yeah. But of course they're also not expecting the types of dishes you make on a MasterChef, right? Like, because you have more time on that show. Yeah.
they give you ingredients and you can make whatever. It's almost like a mystery box every time, which I did really well with. MasterChef, when they're like, you need to recreate this, you're like, fuck.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, this is the way it is. You know, I think you'd have fun with it. You're very quick and you're cool, calm, and collected, which I think would be a really good asset on that show.
And you know, I've really thought it, because I know the worst I do in a challenge is due to having too many options of like ingredients. I almost put into my game plan, like if I have to go into the MasterChef pantry to create a dish, I'm just gonna grab things with no MO, put them in my basket, and go back to my station, and then say, okay, make a dish with this, because I do better that way than going, okay, what should I do? I have all these ingredients, and try and conceptualize a dish. So I think with Next Level Chef, it kind of forces that. It's like the platform comes down. It's like, just throw it in. But you guys don't get a basket either.
No, so I was trying to use my apron. You'll see some other people use the pockets of their aprons. They had like the heavily embedded aprons. Each team got one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's annoying, right?
It's tough. I always try to pick. I was only on there for like 3 or 4 episodes. But every episode, I try to pick the station right by the platform so I can reach and
throw.
So I can reach and just put stuff like this. But I only ended up getting like 3 or 4 things each episode.
Right, but also everyone's trying that game plan, right? How were stations picked?
That was the part that you kind of like walk in and you kind of just pick your station. There's gonna
be a lot of things that change for season 2.
I think so, yeah.
You know, I mean, it was the first season. It was
but it was also your team. You know, you didn't want to like. I had like Ruel, Kenny, Trisha, and Devaney on my team. I didn't want to take a station that they wanted, right? Because if they got best dish, it means I also go through to the next challenge, right?
That's the strategy of the game.
So that was kind of the difficult part. Is it like, do I compete to win for myself, or do I make sure that my entire team is okay? And I took kind of like the team player route. Yeah. But also I was trying my best, you know, with what I had, and it worked out for a couple episodes, and then didn't.
Yeah. See, and I feel like when you watch these shows, it's big risk, big reward. You know, it's like you want to be the guy that's shooting for the, you know, swinging for the fences, trying to win it for the team, because then you get more camera time, and then if you do win, it's a big success. But then if you fail and you sink your team, it's on you.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It is.
The team challenges on MasterChef, if you do apply and they do let you, that they're the hardest. The team challenges. Yeah, you have no clock. You don't there's no clock to like look at and understand where you're at in your cook. So you're all just like running around cooking. Like
the clock that you see on TV is not in the room with you,
huh? In the MasterChef kitchen, that clock is above and we can see it.
Oh, okay.
But out on the team challenges, like when we go to do the field challenges, we don't see a clock. So you have no idea what time it is. And it's also really stressful because the fourth wall is different on the team challenges, and they get way more into what you're doing. And you don't notice them on the MasterChef stage because all the lights just drowned out the cameras. When you're outside in the field challenges, like it's just like all these people, all this chaos, your team's running around like trying to figure out what they're going to do. And like, you know, your team captain assigns everybody a thing, and it's like, but Gordon throws the wrench in it where he's like, I want a demo dish in 45 minutes. Yeah. I'm like, well, I don't know how long 45 minutes is right now. And then, you know, you got one person on asparagus, and they're like, well, this is only going to take me 5 minutes. So what do I do until, you know, what do you want me to do until you need asparagus? Because this is not going to take that long, right? But like, people don't think like that. Go, okay, I'll get to the asparagus. I'll go help somebody else. They just go start cooking asparagus, and then it's time to serve Gordon Ramsay the dish at 45 minutes. He's like, why is this asparagus a limp dick? And you're like, well, because I just went and made it because that's what I thought to do. Like, it's like, and he'll say shit like that too, to catch up.
He's hilarious. Yeah,
dude, they didn't show it, but Tommy, also from my season, you know, Tommy, flamboyant from Chicago, he's always fashion. Tommy,
if I saw a photo.
Yep, we're gonna do that real quick. I need a
older guy.
Yeah,
with like highlights in his hair.
Yeah,
I think I know who Tommy is.
He had these glasses on for the team challenge.
I gotta see this.
And Gordon ripped him off his face and threw them.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, and they weren't cheap. Tommy wears like designer shit.
Oh yeah, I know Tommy. Yeah,
Right.
he's a funny guy.
Dude, it was intense.
Yeah.
Like, cause Tommy on team challenges, Tommy's like the worst to have on your team. Sorry, Tommy, it's true. He just, he's just like, he's so frantic and he likes to do everything particular and perfect. And it's like a team challenge. It's like, go, get it done. And he was fucking up something, and Gordon called us all together, and we were just like getting reamed by Gordon, and then Gordon just grabbed him off his face and threw him. We were like, holy shit. Like, I think I turned out to the camera. I was like, this is not MasterChef anymore. This is Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah,
man.
That's crazy.
Well, dude, thank you for driving out.
No worries. Thank you for having me. I mean, this is so exciting to me.
I know the ride was nice in that Tesla.
Yeah.
When'd you get that?
3 years ago.
Oh,
and I got it like 6 months before the pandemic. I was driving a long way to work and back.
Yeah.
And I was like
that autopilot.
Yeah, and it's just I don't have to pay for gas, right?
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and it sat in my garage for a year and a half. A year and a half. Just, I mean, it's not a cheap car, It's not like a Toyota Corolla or anything. And so I was just like, yeah, this wasn't the greatest idea, But now I'm enjoying.
Did you ever just go out and sit in it and play games because you're like, I bought the thing?
No, I actually don't. Sometimes I do. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I do play games. Yeah. Now I remember.
I like the spacecraft game.
I haven't played that one yet.
Oh, that one's addicting. Sometimes, like, if I get, I'm like, sometimes I'll go to the grocery store because I have to go for work to the grocery store like every fucking day.
Yeah.
And some days I'm just like not ready to go in. I'm like, I need a minute, and I just sit there and play games. I wish you could play the games while the car was driving.
I mean, it does have autopilot.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway. All right, brother. Well, thanks
Thank you so
for
much.
coming out. Let's grab a photo and then let you get on your way.
Thank you so much, Derrick.
Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in to A Bunch of Losers with me, Derrick Fox. Please comment below. If you guys have questions for any of these guests, I'm sure they would love to answer, and I'll answer as well. So let me know below. Also, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and then also make sure you're following us on Instagram, A Bunch of Losers with Derrick Fox, so you get the update on the new episodes. We will be launching them weekly. All right. Thanks, losers.